Next speaker is Dr. Ashok Kumar Singh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, AIOS, for giving me opportunity to describe our study done on assessing the prognostic significance of CYP1V1 variant in childhood glaucoma and insight from a prospective cohort study. So we all know that childhood glaucoma is unpredictable. The same disease may differ in onset, severity, and symptoms. Even the outcome is variable. With the same surgeon performing the same surgery, the outcomes can be quite different. CYP1V1 has been identified as the leading cause of PCG, and more than 150 mutations of CYP1V1 has been found to be associated with PCG. But these mutations have not been studied in great details, but a few case reports are there in the literature which shows that these mutations can be quite variable with respect to their presentation, prevalence, and outcome. Like if we look at the most common variants present in the North India and South India, they are quite different. So why this variability? Are we generalizing the phenotype? Because most of the previous reports describe all the children with ophthalmos, hazy cornea, and raised IOP as PCG. And even we are not sure whether the genetic variants actually represent PCG or some other non-ocular acquired anomalies. So in this regard, we did a study in which we recruited the intractable glaucoma patients who required multiple surgeries and had persistent corneal scarring. 12 out of the 13 patients had CYP1V1 mutation, and 9 of these 12 had homozygous variant for arginine 390 histidine. So we label them as neonatal onset CEU. So with this background, we aimed at studying different CYP1V1 genetic variants found in a cohort of children with non-acquired glaucoma and to analyze their correlation with the phenotype and the outcome. So it was a prospective cohort study. All non-acquired glaucoma children who underwent clinical exome sequencing between January 21 and to January 23 well included. Genetic test was done and the pathogenicity of the variant obtained was determined using ACMG guidelines. Children who had 6 months of post-operative follow-up after surgery were finally analyzed. So we had a cohort of 175 children with non-acquired glaucoma who underwent clinical exome sequencing. PCG was the majority of formed the major chunk of this cohort, followed by CEU, congenital ectropine UVA, ARS, and iridia were the other diagnoses. If we look at the genetic variant-wise distribution, CYP1V1 was the most common genetic variant that we obtained, followed by PAX6, FOXC1, LTBP2, FOXE3, and PTEX2. Now, we had 52 out of these 175 children with CYP1V1 variant. If we look at the genotype-phenotype correlation of these 52 children, we noted something interesting that all the children who had arginine 390 histidine variant, whether in homozygous form or heterozygous form, were clinically diagnosed as CEU. And those who were diagnosed who had arginine 368 histidine variant, whether in homozygous form, heterozygous form, even in presence of arginine 390 histidine variant, were majorly diagnosed as PCG. We also looked at the outcome related to the genotype, and we defined outcome as good, satisfactory, poor, based on the IOP medication requirement and requirement of surgery. So if we look at this table, we note that about the patients having arginine 390 histidine variant had very poor outcome. It was worse in the cases of homozygous condition, but equally bad in compound heterozygous or heterozygous conditions. But all those children having arginine 368 histidine variant had very good outcome, whether they were homozygous, compound heterozygous, or even in presence of arginine 390 histidine variant. Patient with mixed variant had no specific patterns. So in our cohort, most patients with homozygous CYP1V1 arginine 390 histidine variant were phenotypically neonatal onset CEU. PCG was found to be associated with arginine 368 histidine variant. So we could identify one uniformly poor prognosis variant and one good prognostically significant variant. So the take-home message is that knowing about the gene mutation is not sufficient. Knowledge about the different variants are also very, very important. Thank you for your patient listening.
It's very good study. I think it's very useful.
Before operating, we should all, if PG will do this study just before and discuss the prognosis with the
Yes, sir.
parents. Because now litigation is there. Court is heavily on pediatric ophthalmologist. Everything is going, we are getting nothing. But if anything went wrong after even 20 years, when you are like you with your grandchildren, you are you are heavily monetary loss or something, you may be jail. So these
Yes, sir.
type of data is
Yes, sir.
put
So
here.
that's the biggest advantage we had from this study. Like we are now in position to counsel the parents, like how will be the prognosis of the child based on the genetic study. So
Sure. I just wanted to ask, so other than these two variants, was there any other variant that you picked up in your cohort?
ma'am, actually we have picked up a lot of genetic variants.
Yes, and are you able
About
to
28%,
prognosticate? Are
sorry.
you able to prognosticate their phenotypic progress?
Yes, ma'am. Even in other cases like with ARS, with NIDDR,
Yeah.
we got multiple variants, and
Yeah.
we are coming with those
And-
studies. We are analyzing
sure.
those data.
And how many did you do a segregation analysis on?
Ma'am, almost we try to do on most of the patients, most of the parents, but
Number
around 50-60% we do.
did a
Yes,
segregation.
ma'am.
One thing more for all of us, you publish all the data because conference data doesn't go in publications. So these good studies should be because they are savior for us in
Yes,
the
sir.
next few years.
So this is an ongoing study.
Yeah,
So
trying to publish
yes,
in
sir.
good journal and
So
these
is it
data will
associated with the severity of the disease, this mutation?
yes, sir. One variant was found to be more severe, arginine 390 histidine.
Literature says this variant is severe as compared to the other variants, other mutations.
Sir, literature has does not have proper data about which variant of CYP1B1.
It is not the variant, it is just the CYB, cytochrome mutation. That shows- Yeah, so basically, literature has shown that, yeah, so it has shown that this mutation, cytochrome mutation, causes a much severer disease compared to other mutations.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what will it help you when you try to decode the variant? Because generally it is accepted that it is a severe disease.
But sir, all patients with CYP1B1 variant had quite variable outcome. Like some patients required just one surgery, and some patients required multiple surgeries. Even then, they had quite refractive glaucoma. So we try to decode that which of the variant in the CYP1B1 mutated patients are related to the outcome. Like one variant,
So what
arginine.
percentage out of all these required just one surgery?
Sir, surgery was done for all the patients.
No, just one versus the multiple surgery.
Sir, about 80% of the patients with arginine 368 histidine variant, they had just one surgery, and they are doing well till 6 months of follow-up. And those with 390 histidine,
Follow-up is 6 months.
yes sir, 6
So
months
will it
follow-up.
help in any prenatal testing? If you have a familial cause, if you have a familial, would the prenatal testing help? Would it
Sudip
be a-
sir next.
Obviously,
Would
it
it,
will.
be a, would it be an indication for abortion?
Sir, that's too much to say. But we are doing parenting counseling with
because
that,
of the-
that if patient is having